Hi there, I'm Ben, an RV technician here at Lichtsinn RV. Today I'm going to show you how to winterize a 59G Travato. Really easy. Couple things we need to get started are, we're going to need our RV antifreeze. Usually about 2 gallons. You might want to have 3 there just in case you use a little bit more. You are going to want the sprayer hose that your coach came with. We will want some rags, clean up after ourselves. I have this here right now, it's an older hose that we cut the end off. A lot of times your coach will come with a little hose. If you leave both ends on the little hose, you'll probably have to cut the top of your antifreeze jug off to fit it in there. But that is what that little hose is for, is winterizing. But you have to have some kind of hose that we can actually suck the RV antifreeze in from the jug. So I just have a pre-made one for the video here. The other thing we got is, we do have this tool here, something that we have a local guy make. This is to take the plug out of the freshwater tank. That's how we're going to drain our freshwater tank. So to start with, let's go ahead and do that right now. We'll go around to the driver's side. That's actually where the drain is. You can also use, if you can get up there with the pliers, crescent wrench, whatever you can do to get that plug out. This tool just makes it a lot easier to take that plug out. So it's actually right here on the 59G. Actually, you got your sewer hose here. It's actually back there and it's got a little label on it that says fresh tank drain. So that plug is going to be just right up in here. And then you'll just unscrew that, take it out, and we'll actually just drain all the fresh water. I always like to start with drain the fresh water, get that started draining so you know you're empty by the time you're done winterizing. The other thing we'll want to do after we get done winterizing, or you could do it now, is make sure you do dump all of your tanks. Dump the black tank, gray tank, so we don't have anything in those tanks. And that's actually in the back of the coach right here on the driver's side also. That's down low. I usually wait till I'm done winterizing, then I know I'm empty when we're all done. Okay, so now we'll start in the back of the coach here. All right, so we're gonna take our hose that we have here. We're gonna hook up to our city inlet. So I'm gonna screw that in there. Okay, now I got the hose hooked up. Make sure we do the city inlet and you're not trying to hook up to the black tank flush, because nothing's gonna happen if you hook up to this. All right, the next thing we wanna do is these valves here correspond to all the pictures up here. So what we wanna do is, it says Winterize, Siphon to Fixtures via pump. That's the one we want. So it's gonna be blue this way, white this way, green that way, and red that way. So this is winterized now. Nice thing about this system is once I put this into winterize, this bypasses our hot water heater. So that bypasses our Truma is what it's doing. So you don't have to go up there and try to find a bypass valve, any of that stuff. This is doing it for you. All right, so now that we're in winterize, we're gonna take our RV antifreeze, put our hose in there, just like that. Okay, now that we got this all hooked up, we got this into winterizing mode. Now we're gonna go inside and we will actually start winterizing from inside the coach. Okay, the very first thing you wanna do when you come inside is we wanna go under your bench seat here and we wanna drain your Truma combi. There's a little yellow valve down here. It is not easy to get to. And you'll just pull it, open it. It's actually on a relief valve. It's way on this side. Just open that up and that's gonna drain that water out of that Truma. We already bypassed it in the back. Now we just need to get the water out of it. Okay, now that we're inside, first thing we wanna do inside is we do wanna dump our water filter out. So that's here underneath the stovetop. There's a canister down here that we're just gonna undo. Just like that. So it's your drinking water filter. So a lot of times your filter will be in here and then it'll be full of water. So we want to dump that out. Move that. And then really not much in there right now, but that will be full. You want to dump it out because technically that's going to dilute our antifreeze, which make it weaker than we want it. So dump that out, then we'll reinstall that. All right, now the filter's back on. Okay, so now we'll come up here to your one place panel. We'll turn on your water pump. So right there. And then we'll just open the cold side of the faucet. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna wait until it actually fills up that canister, starts pumping out, and then it will actually have a nice steady stream of paint coming out from the RV antifreeze. We'll just give it a second here. All right, so now that you see nice paint coming out, we can shut that off. We'll go over to the hot, open up the hot. Again, we just want a nice steady stream of paint coming out. Okay, now that you hit the kitchen faucet, what we want to do inside here also, it's gonna be kind of hard to see, a little tight area here, but we'll do the same thing. We'll hit that cold and hot side of the faucet itself. So there's the cold, there's the hot, nice steady stream of pink. Then we're gonna hit our shower. So again, we'll do the cold and all the way till we get to the hot. Nice steady stream of pink coming out. And we'll shut that back off. And a lot of times about this point, you're probably gonna have to go back and change your jug to a new jug. You'll hear because the pump will just run all the time, or you can just look and you'll see that your bottle's empty. The other thing we want to hit on the inside too is our toilet. So a couple things with the toilet is foot pedal down here on the right side. So we're just going to hit that until you get some pink, and then you also want to hit your sprayer nozzle until you get nice pink coming out of that too. Shut it off. Put that here. Okay, so now that we got the bathroom winterized, kitchen winterized, now we'll go back outside, and there's one more thing we want to do outside out back for the sprayer faucet. After we're done with that, we'll come back inside. Okay, now we're back outside in the back here. The other thing we want to winterize is our outside shower or outside sprayer. A lot of people forget this, first thing that freezes and breaks. So that's why we needed our sprayer hose that came with the coach. So what we're gonna do is make sure these valves are off. Hook up our sprayer, and I did already change the bottle to our second bottle, so I am on the second bottle here. All right, so we'll turn it on hot, and then I'll just spray until, again, you get that nice steady stream pink coming out. Give it a second to prime. Okay, so right there, nice steady stream of pink, and we'll shut the hot off. Turn on the cold, nice steady stream of pink coming out of the cold. Then what I like to do is shut the faucet off, relieve the pressure off the hose, so there's no pressure. Then we can take your hose off, and I always like to drain the hose too. So hold it and then open the end here and let it drain out. All right, so we'll set that down. Okay, now that we winterized this outside sprayer in the back, we're gonna go back inside and do one more thing. Now that we're back inside, the last thing we need to do is we wanna come back to that drinking water filter cartridge, canister, sorry, and we wanna dump that back out. So a lot of times I want the regs, so take a couple regs with you. What I wanna do is make sure that pressure is released off there, shut your water pump off, up high. So with the water pump off, we'll get that pressure out of there. So just open the cold side until nothing else is flowing out. Okay, now that's stopped, we can shut that faucet now. Come down here with the canister. Just gonna dump that canister out. And And then again, this is kind of why I like to dump my black and gray tank at the end, because we are adding a fair amount of antifreeze to the system. So it's nice to be able to get that out of the system too. Put that back on, there and there. Wipe up any antifreeze that spilled. And then all your sinks and everything on the inside, just make sure we wipe out really quick. Get that antifreeze out. Or if you spilled anywhere around, get it wiped up. You know, on certain surfaces, antifreeze can actually stain, so want to make sure we wipe it up. So there, make sure we wipe up. Sink in the bathroom. And then after the pump's off, I always like to just dump the rest of the antifreeze out of the toilet. You can leave it in there if you want to. It's not going to hurt anything. I always like to drain it down. Okay, well, after you've come in here, dumped that canister, wiped everything down, then this is the point where you dump your black and gray tank. And then what we want to do is we'd go out back, unhook our hoses, put everything back to normal operation, and you're ready to go. So as you can see, it's just a couple steps in and out, a couple times, and that's all it takes to winterize Winnebago Travato 59G.